Well, to answer this question, we're joined by Mr. P.L. De Silva, political science professor, to try to unpack all this issue. Professor, how significant is this meeting in terms of shaping New York-Washington relations under Trump's presidency?
Well, we have to wait and see the outcome. There are probably three outcomes. There could be a cooperative breakthrough where, things will be, federal local relations will be okay. The other would be a stalemate,
Mm.
but it'll be cordial. And the third option is a breakdown and a public confrontation. All three possibilities are there on the table. We have to see how it kind of plays out.
Oh, well, Mamdani ran on a transformative economic agenda. So, do you see any areas where Trump might be compelled to compromise?
Well, Trump is already compromising after Mamdani's victory. He has cut all the tariffs on Brazilian beef and coffee because it's untenable in the supermarkets how how groceries uh, are sky high,
Mhm.
and Trump campaigned that he would bring prices down, and his tariffs have actually had a blowback effect. So he is trying to scramble after Mamdani's victory because Mamdani campaigned on affordability and economic security.
Mhm. Trump's base largely disapproves of New York's politics, yet some of his supporters still backed Mamdani. How do we explain that convergence?
The thing is this, it's the young people, okay? A massive number of young people who actively canvassed for Mamdani, and which led to his victory. What would they say? There's 100,000 volunteers. So, if that is the case,
Hmm.
then there's a clear difference between the old guard, the old corrupt ancien regime, of which Trump belongs to. He's
Hmm.
79 years old. He's going to be 80 years old in June. Mamdani is 34 years old, and there's a 45-year age gap between the two of them. So if you are not with the young people who are the future, you're simply going to not win any future elections. And you can see the change of tone on Wall Street with Jamie Dimon and others wanting to work with an incoming Mamdani administration in New York.
Hmm. So, immigration is also a very important point. Immigration enforcement has been weaponized in this lead up. How far can the White House escalate pressure on the city without triggering political backlash?
So, New York is a city of immigrants. 40%, the estimates are 40% of the population are immigrants. And therefore, attacking your population base is not going to work in the favor of the White House
Hmm.
and its anti-immigrant racist policies.
Well, also infrastructure is another issue. So, with infrastructure funding already frozen, how serious is the risk that New Yorkers pay the price for this power struggle?
Yeah, while the power struggle is there, the fact that Wall Street big players are peeling off to support the Mamdani administration could mean that if even if federal funding is not available, there would be private funding available. New York is a very rich place with a lot of money, and is not beholden to federal funding alone. And if there is a rapprochement between Wall Street and the Mamdani administration for the sake of New York as the the shining city of the United States,
Mm.
then you could see a difference. And all of this has to yet unfold.
Professor, let's talk about the expected meeting. Could this meeting become a defining moment for Mamdani's credibility and leadership, or a trap?
It's certainly a trap, and we have to wait and see how
Why do you
Mamdani.
consider it a trap, Professor?
because we have seen what happened to Zelensky and many other world leaders who have been insulted and trapped. And I mean, I, I mean, the White House, Oval House meetings are not friendly. They're certainly not diplomatic. And we have to wait and see. But the fact of the matter is, world leaders don't have domestic support. Mamdani has domestic support,
Mm.
and that's the big difference.
Well, what are your expectations regarding this meeting? What would be the outcome?
I am hoping the first option, where it'll be cordial and there'll be some kind of federal local arrangement which would be to the benefit of all New Yorkers.
Would there
Because
be any compromises from both sides, Trump or Mamdani?
I think Mamdani will stick to his guns because he's on a winning ticket on affordability and economic security. Trump is actually playing defense. So it's more likely that Trump would be offering concessions to have a cordial relationship with Mamdani and his mayoral administration in New York City. It's the first time that a New York mayor is meeting one on one with the president. I mean, few previous mayors met with, you know, other mayors and had events in the White House, but this is the first kind of meeting that's taking place in the Oval Office, which shows that it's an important meeting, especially from Trump's perspective, since he asked for the meeting.
And what does this signify, Professor? That Trump is the one who asked for the meeting?
It shows that he he knows that if, you know, in the current situation, if he goes into the midterm elections, if the midterm elections were to be held now, the Republicans will lose hands down. So he's scrambling to see how he can show up his administration, and this is something for us. I mean, everybody knows. I think most Republicans know that if the mid in the midterm elections they are going to lose, and they are hoping to see, you know, whether they can salvage something. And this is why Trump would love to have, you know, Mamdani boxed in, and then he can, you know, crow that he has been victorious. We don't know how it kind of plays out.